2, 1.
Okay, we're back from our executive session and we are looking at one more item on our agenda for the CARES Act property tax relief discussion featuring our clerk, Douglas Miller.
Commissioners, thank you for the opportunity to present on this. And as the commissioners are fully aware, I've been swaying back and forth of what to recommend to them regarding the opportunity for this CARES Act property tax relief that has been presented by the governor to the counties. We are trying to make quick, educated decisions based on the sideboards that are being required, based on the availability of this funding. What I would like to present, I think the commissioners just received this afternoon, is an opinion from, this is the opinion from Lake Tahoe County, which has significant concerns regarding this program that is being offered by the governor. It also indicates that there are 24 other prosecutors agree that the plan does not appear to meet the legal requirements, and the below counties agreed to be added to this letter as agreeing with the above legal concern. That's Clearwater County, Franklin County, Gooding County, Idaho County, Kootenai County, Lemhi County, Lincoln County, Blaine County, Adams County, Caribou County, Bonner County, Oahe County, Jefferson County, Twin Falls County, Camas County, and Jerome County. As the commissioners are aware, this was a program that was just recently presented to the commissioners, the clerks, regarding the opportunity for a property tax relief by paying for the cost of the first responders. I don't know if you guys want me to fully go into that or what is available through the COVID property tax relief opportunity. We are, again, trying to make educated recommendations to the commissioners, and this most recent concern was brought to our attention by our prosecuting attorney, and now we're presenting it to the commissioners. The concern that I have is the governor's office is requesting that the counties have to make a letter of intent by July 17th. So again, we have to make a decision. The commissioners have to make a decision sooner than later. And I want to make sure that they have all of the information, all of the concerns presented to them, so you guys can make an educated decision of what the direction you want to go. I can also share with you that the treasurers across the state have significant concerns. I have not seen a formal letter from the treasurers regarding their concerns. The clerks across the state also have concerns as well. But now you have, the prosecuting attorneys, several prosecuting attorneys voicing their concerns to the governor. I don't know if the governor's office has had the ability to respond to this letter. We have not received a response from the governor's office regarding this letter that was presented to the commissioners dated July 3rd from the office of the prosecuting attorney in Lake Tahoe County. I can tell you that we as clerks are very in support of property tax relief. I think the commissioner's in full support of property tax relief, but is this the best program for the county as well as the citizens for the property tax relief that's being presented? And again, with the questions of the legality, is it even legal what the governor's office is doing at this point in time with the federal dollars that they had received? I wish I could stand here before you and say, yes, this is in fact the direction that the Valley County Board of Commissioners should take on this, but I can't. Mm-hmm. I think our prosecuting attorney, I'll let her comment herself, but I can't stand here and sit here and tell you, in fact, yes, in fact, you should do this or not. I think there's still significant questions, and I am uncomfortable making a formal recommendations to the commissioners when we really haven't had much time to research all of these concerns that are being presented.
And the AG's office has not weighed in one way or another on this proposal from anything I've heard. Have you heard
I
anything?
haven't heard either.
You'd think that the AG's office would have weighed in before a proposal was made that may be, not legal.
I think it causes a lot of pause, and I hadn't commented one way or the other on this because I knew we had this on our agenda for today. And so I didn't realize they were gonna send that letter out, whether you would have wished to have joined in with, your concerns or not. But I got a copy of this morning, and I don't think that the governor's office hasn't responded yet. And I think since subsequent to that, Seth Griggs sent something from some of the other counties, and so there's been some more email traffic based on this as well. But I join with Doug. The answer is I don't know. And so the real question is, what do you do when, you're faced with a decision without all of the facts and which way you want to go? And I just don't have any advice one way or the other as far as what I think the legalities of it are, because I think there's some serious concerns about it. And, the answers aren't very forthcoming at this point. So.
Doug, have you done any of the number crunching to find out what we would be supplying, what we would be requesting being reimbursed for?
Yes, we have. And I think the final total would be around like $2.2 million. But what would be eligible for Valley County to request?
Versus our 3% increase and new construct, or we can still take new
You
construction.
still would be
but we
able to
can't
levy
do
for new
3%.
construction. And here's where it's difficult for the budgeting officers. We haven't even finalized our budget yet, right? So it's a real difficult time of year that for us to say, yes, in fact, because we don't know what the need is going to be to levy for. I can tell you that our initial glance at the requests that have been made, we're going to have to, the Valley County Board of Commissioners is going to have to levy the 3% and the new construction to make sure that you are in fact able to pay for everything that's being requested at this point in time. This is at our initial glance. I was just downstairs right now trying to crunch a few more of the revenues coming in. But from an initial glance, it would appear to make sure that the county funds all of the requests that have come in. We would have to take the 3%, including the new construction, which is $7.5 million. That's the amount that Valley County can levy for this fiscal year.
So they're asking us to take 2.2 that we don't know is legal versus doing what we would normally do in a budget year of 7.5. Am I looking at that correctly?
Well,
or what's the increase?
So we would not be, from my understanding, $2.2 million we would not have to levy for this 1 year. And we don't know how we're going to account for that revenue. Do we now create a revenue line for that COVID dollars? Those are still questions that I don't think have been flushed out yet. How do counties account for that payment?
So let's take COVID totally out of it. So I understand the budgeting income part of it. So if we were just to say, we're going to take our 3.3% increase this year in new construction, we would receive 7.5 million.
Tax dollars.
What
But
increase amount is that over last year?
Number wise or percentage wise?
Number wise? Because percentage wise is 3% plus the new construction, right?
New construction will vary,
Okay.
right?
Do we know what that is this year?
We do.
Okay.
So new construction let me just give you that since it's the spreadsheet that I pulled up. New construction is $92,918,733. So if you times that by last year's levy rate, which is 0.001570535, it's $145,932. So it's an additional $145,000 that the commissioners can levy for.
We're
Okay.
going to get that one way or another.
Well, you don't have to take that.
Okay. We don't have to, but we can.
Correct. You can levy for that. The grand total that the commissioners can levy for is $7,545,754. That's the 3% and new construction. $7,545,754 is the amount that the commissioners can levy for. That's your 3% in new construction. Last year, the commissioners levied $7,183,441.
So by taking the COVID relief, we are going to get a substantially higher amount of money than we would if we took the 3% in new construction. Correct? Because
Well, you would receive that money as, you were going to receive that money from, that you would not have to levy the taxpayers for, right?
so it reduced down our levy by the 2.2 million. And it would freeze our tax levy rate at last year's
Correct,
amount.
correct.
So technically, we would only be levying then for 5 million.
Yes, but I don't know if that will fully fund all of the, we have to take a closer look. You would think that, yes, in fact, it will. Let me rephrase that. So we would have to add that as revenue, right? And we would have to make an adjustment on our revenue side. The amount to be budgeted is still going to go up because of the increases that have been requested, right?
We need 7.5 million to cover all of our expenditures.
We don't know yet.
Well, that was what I was gonna say, is what I hear you saying is like the big unknown is we don't have our budget set yet.
Correct.
So until we have our budget set, we don't really know what that number is.
We don't.
And it would be unwise, in my opinion, for us to accept less amount of money, at least until after we have our budget.
And if we will have time to get a better understanding by that 17th deadline, we'll have this week that we can work on it and to have a better educated guess of what that's going to look like.
But to push it out till the 24th would be even better.
Well, there's no possibility because you have to have a letter of intent by the 17th.
Right, but isn't that a letter requesting them to extend the deadline?
I think that's what the counties were asking for, a 1 week extension.
Right.
So to the 24th. So, yeah, that would be better.
I guess technically, yes. But then you have the concerns that are being brought up by the prosecuting attorneys across the state that's regarding this proposal.
Yes, I mean, and really what happens, I think it falls back on the state. If they do something illegally and we have to send the money back, it comes out of the state coffers, not out of the.
But then we're not levying for what we potentially needed to for that
Exactly.
$2.2 million.
Yeah.
So again, we're still, it's
They don't.
fast moving and we're trying to make sure that we are in fact knowledgeable enough, educated, and provide that information to the commissioners, because ultimately the commissioners will be making that decision.
I will be out of the area the 14th through the 17th on no phone. So I have next Monday.
We'll get it on the agenda again. We will work hard on really trying to take a close, because today kind of concluded all of the Valley County budget, right? All of the workshops, the salaries, the benefits. So we have all of the information now. We still don't have all of the prospective revenue. There are still a few grants. We still have PILT that's an unknown. But once we have that side compared to basically almost the final budget, the final request, I should say, we'll be able to have probably a more educated response to give you guys next Monday. We will work diligently to make sure that we are educating you guys what we see.
Didn't the state just start their new year, July 1st?
Correct.
So they
They have a
should know
different
how much
fiscal
we're gonna get out of road funding and out of all of our sales tax and everything else.
Not necessarily, no. We've already made those reductions in what we have projected for our revenue from the state. We've already accounted for those possible reductions that we're hearing about. So that has been included in our revenue side of our projections.
And when will we know for certain if that's true or not? Who knows? Whenever they
Not
get
until the
around to it.
payments are distributed. I mean, to
Oh,
be,
geez, they don't even confirm it
Well,
before then?
not necessarily, no.
This budgeting thing's interesting on the government world.
It-
Wow.
So what we wanted to do today was just kind of give you an overview of what we're continuing to do, what the concern is, and just kind of keep you guys updated of really what's taking place.
So Carol, do you think that you'll be reaching out to the AG's office for legal clarity or what?
Well, the IPAA has done that, or the association here, I mean, they've reached out. I mean, I don't know why the Attorney General's silent on this. It seems to me the Association of Counties has reached out as well, so I would think I think they're having correspondence back and forth with the Treasury Department, but,
I don't
will we have enough
understand.
information? I don't know the answer to that.
And we can make decisions if we don't know, I mean, there's huge holes in the information.
That's why it makes it really difficult, to take the risk,
Yeah.
The question is, what's the risk and which is the better risk to the county?
Yeah. We want to support our taxpayers, but again, if we don't know for certain that we're not going to be asked to give that money back, if we don't budget appropriately, and then all of a sudden we're asked to give some money back because the feds are demanding it back, I mean,
And we didn't levy
and
for
we
it.
didn't levy for it, that's
It's gonna be
a
devastating
terrible
too.
situation for the county.
I don't know where we come up with, that money.
I think what,
But the state,
again,
think
I don't want to speak for all of the clerks, but personally, it would be nice if the state took that money and created a formula to give a check directly to the property taxpayers, right? Instead of funneling this through the county.
Absolutely.
And I mean, that's really what, in my opinion, I wish would take place, but
Right, but it's COVID money, and how do they do that?
correct.
It's not money that's coming to us to give tax relief. They're just trying to do a bait and switch, and say, well, we'll give you this COVID money, and then you give the taxpayers a break. But,
Well, because that was what the hot topic in legislation was property tax relief.
well, right, but I don't know how you take, that's what they're trying to do, is take COVID dollars and find a way to take COVID dollars and distribute those
For property tax relief for 1 year.
Right, and that's the concern, is that,
And my concern, which I expressed to them, was all you do is mess up. Everybody that has an escrow account on their mortgage now just got messed up because that money is going to get applied to an escrow account. So your payments change, and then the next year you're underfunded in your escrow account, and then your payments go back up. And
double,
so it's going to
double
be
to make up that extra.
absolutely.
that
So it's
extra
going to be a
escrow.
mess in everyone's mortgage accounts. It's a bad year to be a newbie up here and try and figure out budgets. It's like, holy cow, I thought this would be at least a little bit easier than it is for me. I feel bad for you because you only went through one, so it's not like you're tried and true in all of this.
But you can see why there's that concern out there.
Absolutely.
This is COVID money, and it's supposed to be, one of the things is it's supposed to be distributed evenly, and that's the big question. It's like, so some people don't take it, how is that really even to, all of the taxpayers within the state? I mean,
Yeah.
So,
And just to let you know, I have reached out to the group to ask about using these funds for broadband expansion because broadband right now is a heavy hit with all of the online educational that is required.
yeah,
And in, rural Idaho, we don't have broadband speeds that allow for a lot of work from home and education, but that truly is a COVID situation. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't even know what to ask because there's so many holes in the whole conversation still that haven't been filled that hopefully by Monday they'll give us that
We hope.
respect and give us time to.
So more than likely, we'll have to
Research.
put it on the agenda for late afternoon on Monday, and because the agenda is pretty much full on the 13th. We'll work diligently to try to, I don't want to say finalize the budget, but to make sure that we are closer to finalizing a budget than we are now the rest of the week, and give you guys the best educated opinion that we can come up with by Monday regarding a letter of intent to the governor's office for this COVID property tax relief.
So we can ask.
That's all we can ask at this point in time.
Thanks for all your hard work. Thank you for all your hard work. It's crazy, crazy
If I find anything
times.
else out, I'll let you know.
When I'm 90 rocking my rocking chair, I'm gonna be saying, do you remember when we were living through history? Who knew? Who knew?
I guess while we have the assessor here, has the assessors group weighed in on this at all, or do you, okay, thank you.
So what do you think we should do? I mean, I'm gonna reach out to Seth and say, Seth, oh, he's on that group. He's representing the
I think he's not gonna tell you one way or the other. He's just gonna provide you with the information that he has regarding the program.
He could at least tell us if the AG is weighed in.
He can say that, but the Idaho Association of Counties is not gonna take a stance if counties should submit a letter of intent at all.
I think they sent a letter, I just don't think, I've not seen anything where the AG has responded. So, and that's kind of surprising.
Absolutely.
Interesting. I mean, even AG Barr, I mean, there's gotta be something at the top that somebody takes a legal stand on this, or are they just expecting lawsuits to start flying and they're gonna spend all their COVID money on lawsuits?
And
Well,
with
it
that,
would be our COVID money, because if they take it away, it would be other money.
Commissioners, with that, I think that concludes the day. Our office did not have any individuals reach out that wanted to. I don't know if you guys want to wait till 4:30 to see if any member of the general public wants to present. Our office has not heard from anyone. So I'll leave it up to your guys' decision if you want to wait a few minutes.
What do you think, Sherry?
I think we're done.
I think we're done too.
people would-
Okay? Then I will take us off the record, Commissioners.